Good. I mean, I'm sitting next to a three-time Super Bowl champion, two-time MVP.
What I could have been with Gronk, man. I'm just thinking to myself.
What would your stats be if I was your tight end?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. If I played today with they can't patrol the middle of the field, we would just, they can't cover you. It'd be amazing. But back in the day, the middle of the field was a little bit scarier.
It was. Especially in the Chuck Cecil era.
Right.
Was he in that era with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't run up the middle or go through the middle if you're a wide receiver or tight end. I mean, you're getting laid out no matter what, and they would let you know every single time.
And I don't know if they did a nice job now of really off the line of scrimmage. It feels like in the old days, they would just hands-on, pull you down, and now it's just free release.
Well, they did that to me one of my years. They were basically doing to me every game, and that's what triggered me to give Trey White that elbow drop.
Oh, is that,
they were like, "Why'd you do that?" I was like, "Because I was getting grabbed off the line."
Yeah, you still get crushed for that.
Yeah, I still get crushed for that, but it's okay.
Why does he get crushed? They feel like you were picking on him?
No, Bills fans. Yeah, well, because I elbow dropped him right after the whistle was called.
But you apologized to him.
I did apologize. I knew I did wrong, but like right in that heated moment, I just got triggered because I was getting held, and then he intercepted the ball because he was holding me and getting closer. And then also I was trying to get my incentives as well because I had an incentive-based contract and I was trying to get yards. So then I got pissed and then I elbow dropped him and got suspended the game.
But you're just defending yourself.
Exactly.
Did he accept your apology?
Steve. I don't think so.
I feel like we need a defensive player if we really want to have this conversation to make it fair. But Steve, let's talk about this game. I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on it. We noticed something. You were with Lil Wayne before the Packers game. Yep. I believe you were with Eminem before the Lions game. Are you hanging out with Kansas City's musician Taylor Swift before this year's game so you can keep this going?
They're making a big thing of it because I hung out with both of them and they end up losing.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
And at the time they were winning. So when I walked in and met them, they were winning, and then when we walked out, they lost. So I think there's some 49er fans that are hoping that I go see Taylor Swift at some point when the Chiefs have the lead and see if we can keep it going.
I mean, I'm sure you'd love to meet Taylor Swift, or at least Tech Nine or whoever else Kansas City has. Maybe you can just hang out with Paul Rudd and they'll still lose to your Niners. You were set to address the team. I don't know if you did that yet. I know Joe Montana. Okay, tell me the vibe. What is this team made of going into this game?
This team is tough-minded. You saw in the comeback, they're down 24-7 at halftime at home, #1 seed. Something happens to you when that happens. It's like an existential threat to your soul, and it kind of tears at it. And so to come back and win, you're stronger. You can't help it, and you're stronger-minded. It's like we can take anything now. What else can go wrong? And go into 24-7 at halftime, and we figure it out. So I think this is a team they're not going to be, a lot of Super Bowl teams have shown up a little overwrought, not ready, big moment. This is not that team. Now, I know the Chiefs as well, probably the same way, but the 49ers are kind of in a way the last couple of weeks in the playoffs battle-tested because of what they've had to go through.
What was your message to the team?
That you don't win Super Bowls. You take them from bloody hands.
Whoa, that's a great message.
That's what it is.
The truth. That's the truth.
Because it's the desperation and the lives that are changing minute by minute. You know that your life's going to change one way or another in the next 60 minutes. And so when you're there and you're not used to it, you can kind of miss the moment and go, wait, what happened? But if you're ahead of it and recognize that nobody is going to let this just happen, you're going to have to grab it and take it away. And so in that way, wanted them to start preparing for that now, not waiting for the weekend. You guys did a great job in the Patriots for years. They showed up prepared, ready, studied their stuff, memorized, didn't go out too much most of the time.
Just in the off season only.
Yeah.
And maybe a Thursday night.
Right. But in the end, that was the message.
Got it. Purdy, I'd love your thoughts ahead of this game on him. He's being ripped apart. Lots of people like to, he's very polarizing for some reason. People can't get on board with Mr.
Well, he's polarizing because today's prototype is Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen, big, strong, run all over the field, Superman. Put on the cape, end of the game, do something spectacular. And Brock's told you last week at the end of the game, in the media, he says, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest. So it's not prototype. And so in that way, then you add that he was drafted the last spot in the draft, so it's like this thing. people just don't know how to take it in. And what you have to just do is wipe all that out and just watch him play. And once you watch him play, he does it in his own Brock way. I always said, let Brock cook, because he understands the game intuitively. I always said he has the force. Like, if you think of Star Wars, you know, you can't explain it, but he has the force, and he's just, like this game, I don't want to say it's just another game to him, but his mindset is, give me a play, I'm Indiana Jones, I'll go find the treasure in 2 seconds, and give me another play, and I'll do the same thing over and over again. He's just very set in his ways in that way. He doesn't get over emotional, he's not going to overreact. He's an amazing guy.
Is the force strong enough in this one to break your 6 touchdown record?
I always said, if you want to throw 6 touchdowns in a Super Bowl, go for 8. That was what our coach told me before the game. He said, we're going to throw 8. I thought he was insane. Mike Shanahan said that. So I guess we should say, look, he's going to go for 9.
Here we go.
And go see if he can get 7 or something.
Would you like to see your record broken? No way.
Well, I think you have to, being mentally healthy is to cheer people on and to see people get, every generation should get better.
Yeah.
You know, Tom and Peyton, in many ways, built off of what they'd seen before from the previous generation. I built off watching, you know, Roger Staubach and you know, Terry Bradshaw. So it's like, you take the previous generation, you should extend. You should break a record. So like, oh no, don't break my record. I kind of think that we should say, yeah, we hope. You think I'm lying?
I don't think that record's ever going to be broken. Yes, that's a record that's going to stand still for quite some time.
So Steve's saying that from a place of security.
Yes. Like, if I had to put all my money on it being broken, I'd put it against that it wouldn't be broken.
But Gronk, I would say this, and it's funny, Mike Shanahan said 8, you're going to throw 8 touchdowns, and I thought it was ridiculous. Then at halftime he said, we had 4, because we're halfway, then we had 6 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but the game was over, so he came out. And he was so upset, he's like, no, go back, because there's 2 more. So in his mind, that was the way he thought about the game. And that's why, in some ways, we take it from bloody hands. You have to have that mindset. These guys had it for 20 years. We had it for 20 years before them.
But it's a balance of being a complete maniac and having that mindset, and then also being mentally healthy, that it's not your entire identity, a record, a win, or anything.
I think that's right.
Steve, you were here with Dove's first of its kind program, Body Confident Sport. What are you doing with them?
Okay, so this fall, my girls in California is the first year in history that girls could play flag football.
It's amazing.
And so at our school, the coach said, hey, do you mind coming by? I said, sure, I'll come by, and maybe we work with the quarterbacks, you know? We go by the first day, they've got 35 girls, and they thought there was going to be 15. They didn't know what to do. The girls were all there, they didn't know anything about football. So they took 4 or 5 girls to thought that they could play quarterback, and they said to me, how do you hold the football? And I'm like, well, you know, how do you throw it? How does your arm move? How do you, and so the girls were very excited that they were included, and they were very excited to learn the game, and by the end of the season, they were all saying this is my favorite sport I've ever played. And we had older women, 80-year-old women, 4 of them at a games that would say, hey, what are you doing here? They're like, well, we dreamed when we were younger that we'd be able to play football, and now we get to see girls play it. So Body Confident Sport is Dove's effort, and that's why I'm really behind it with my girls, is the effort.
I'm actually doing a promo with Dove as well, too. It's coming out.
To play the girls, 50% of girls don't play sports after 14 because of how they feel about their body. So the idea is like, give them coaches the tools to help girls feel confident about their selves, so then go play these sports that are now opening up. Flag football, girls flag football is now in the Olympics, 2028. It's going to take over dance. It's going to take over volleyball. It's going to take over, you know, soccer. Flag football will dominate the girls' sports landscape in the next few years.
Yeah, the NFL certainly knows that as well. I'm excited to see, what commercial aren't you in, Gronk? We're going to take a short break.
Yeah, right. Who aren't you in?
I know, you're literally every other commercial is Gronk. I don't know how your time management works, but Steve Young, we appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's wonderful
You,
to be
of course,
here.
think the Niners are going to win, right?
I mean, they're battle tested. They're ready.
All right, they're ready. We'll be right back after this with Max Crosby.